Hello everyone. Today, I have prepared some really shocking content. We will learn about the hidden dangers behind the nutritious food that we enjoy eating and know as a health food, seaweed. In particular, I will introduce in detail 10 foods that should never be eaten with seaweed. This information is very important and directly related to your health, so please watch until the end. 1. Milk. The first food I will introduce is milk. Many people eat seaweed soup with milk, but this can be a very dangerous combination. Seaweed is rich in iodine. On the other hand, milk is rich in calcium. When these two nutrients meet, insoluble calcium iodide is formed in the body. As a result, both nutrients are not properly absorbed and are excreted from the body. What is even scarier is that if this phenomenon continues, it can cause problems with thyroid function. Iodine is an essential nutrient for the production of thyroid hormones, and if it is not properly absorbed, the risk of hypothyroidism increases. It can lead to various symptoms such as fatigue, weight gain, and depression, so you really need to be careful. 2. Green tea. The second food to be careful of is green tea. Green tea is known to be good for your health, but it can be harmful if you eat it with seaweed. Green tea is rich in tannin, which interferes with the absorption of iron in seaweed. Iron is an essential nutrient for red blood cell production in our bodies. If you eat these two foods together, the absorption rate of iron in your body will decrease significantly, increasing the risk of anemia. Pregnant women and menstruating women should be especially careful. Iron intake is important for them even on a regular basis, but the combination of seaweed and green tea can cause severe iron deficiency. It can lead to symptoms such as extreme fatigue, dizziness, and decreased immunity, so you should definitely avoid it. 3. Eggs. The third food to introduce is eggs. Many people put eggs in seaweed soup, right? However, this combination can also be bad for your health. Egg yolks are rich in a vitamin called biotin. The problem is that biotin, which is contained in seaweed, interferes with the absorption of biotin. As a result, the biotin that our body needs is not properly absorbed. Biotin deficiency can cause various symptoms such as skin trouble, hair loss, and muscle pain. Pregnant women in particular need to be extra careful, as it can have a negative effect on the development of the fetus. 4. Coffee. The fourth thing to be careful of is coffee. Many people enjoy a cup of coffee after a meal, right? However, drinking coffee after eating seaweed can be very dangerous. The caffeine in coffee interferes with the absorption of iodine in seaweed. As I mentioned earlier, iodine is a very important nutrient for thyroid function. If you eat these two foods together, you can have problems with thyroid hormone secretion. What's more serious is that coffee also interferes with the absorption of calcium in seaweed. This can increase the risk of osteoporosis. In particular, postmenopausal women and the elderly should absolutely avoid this combination. 5. Alcohol. The fifth food to introduce is alcohol. Eating seaweed soup and a glass of soju is a combination that you probably do more than you think, right? However, this combination can be really dangerous. Seaweed is rich in dietary fiber. This dietary fiber promotes the absorption of alcohol. As a result, you get drunk much faster and more severely than usual. What's even scarier is that if you continue to drink alcohol in this state, the risk of alcoholism or liver damage increases significantly. In fact, there have been several reports of people being taken to the emergency room after consuming excessive amounts of seaweed and alcohol together. Never consume them together. Have you heard this far? Surprisingly, this is only the beginning. The foods that will be introduced below can be even more dangerous. Let's continue to learn more. 6. Nuts. The sixth food to watch out for is nuts. Nuts are known to be good for your health, but they can actually be harmful if eaten with seaweed. Nuts are rich in a substance called phytic acid, and this phytic acid interferes with the absorption of zinc in seaweed. Zinc is a mineral that plays an important role in strengthening the immune system and healing wounds. If you eat these two foods together, the absorption rate of zinc in the body will decrease significantly, increasing the risk of weakened immunity. Children and adolescents in their growing years should be especially careful. Zinc is an essential nutrient for growth and development, but the combination of seaweed and nuts can cause serious zinc deficiency. It can lead to problems such as growth delay and weakened immunity, so it must be avoided. 7. Tofu. The seventh protagonist is tofu. Seaweed and tofu, a combination that is synonymous with health food, right? However, this combination may not be as good as you think. Tofu is rich in isoflavones, a plant-based estrogen. The problem is that these isoflavones compete with the iodine in seaweed. As a result, neither nutrient is properly absorbed. What is more serious is that this combination can cause problems with thyroid function. In particular, people with thyroid disease should absolutely avoid this combination. Various symptoms can occur due to thyroid hormone imbalance. 8. Orange juice. The eighth food to introduce is orange juice. Orange juice, rich in vitamin C, is good for your health, right? However, it can be a problem if you eat it with seaweed. The high acidity of orange juice can destroy the iodine in seaweed. Iodine is a nutrient that is sensitive to heat, and it is more easily destroyed in an acidic environment. As a result, you will not be able to properly consume iodine, the most important nutrient in seaweed. What is even scarier is that the vitamin C in orange juice can excessively promote the absorption of iron in seaweed. This can cause excessive iron accumulation in the body, which can lead to liver damage or heart problems. In particular, people with hemochromatosis should absolutely avoid this combination. 9. Kimchi. The ninth food to be careful of is kimchi. Seaweed and kimchi are both health foods that Koreans enjoy eating, right? However, eating these two together may not be good. Kimchi contains a lot of sodium. On the other hand, seaweed is rich in potassium. When these two meet, the body's electrolyte balance can be disrupted. As a result, problems such as increased blood pressure and edema can occur. What is even more serious is that the lactic acid bacteria, produced during the fermentation process of kimchi, react with the iodine in seaweed and interfere with the absorption of iodine. This can cause problems with thyroid function, so be careful. 10. Chocolate. The last and most unexpected combination to introduce is seaweed and chocolate. Some people try to get rid of the fishy smell of seaweed with sweet chocolate, right? However, this combination can be very dangerous. Chocolate contains a substance called oxalic acid. This oxalic acid combines with the calcium in seaweed to form an insoluble salt. As a result, the calcium is not properly absorbed and is excreted from the body. What's even scarier is that, if this phenomenon continues, the risk of kidney stones increases. Calcium oxalate is one of the main causes of kidney stones. In particular, people with kidney disease should absolutely avoid this combination. Are you surprised? Isn't it shocking that such common foods can become so dangerous when combined with seaweed? We should definitely be careful of these dangerous food combinations that we didn't know about. But don't worry, as long as you avoid these foods, seaweed is a really good food. It is rich in iodine, which helps with thyroid health, and it is also rich in dietary fiber, which is good for preventing constipation. Also, the alginic acid in seaweed is said to be effective in excreting heavy metals from the body. However, one thing to be careful about is that seaweed is not good to consume too much. Seaweed contains a high sodium content, so if consumed excessively, there is a risk of high blood pressure. It is said that 5 to 10 grams per day is appropriate. People with kidney disease should be especially careful when eating it. Please remember this information for your precious health, and tell the people around you. It can help protect someone's health. Now, I will finish by giving you a few more tips on eating seaweed. First, it is best to consume seaweed alone if possible. When eating it with other foods, leave at least a 2-hour gap. Second, drink plenty of warm water after eating seaweed. This helps digestion and helps excrete sodium. Third, when cooking seaweed, be careful not to cook it too salty. It is already a food with a high sodium content. Fourth, it is better to choose raw seaweed rather than dried seaweed. Dried seaweed can cause more nutrient destruction. Fifth, when eating seaweed, eat fruits or vegetables rich in vitamin C together. But eat them at intervals. This is effective in helping iron absorption. Now that you know this, doesn't seaweed seem even tastier? Now you can enjoy healthy seaweed wisely. And finally, there's one more thing I'd like to tell you. It's an environmental issue related to seaweed consumption. Recently, due to marine pollution, the problem of heavy metal contamination in seaweed has come to the fore. Our health is important, but shouldn't we also think about the health of the ocean? Choosing organic seaweed harvested from clean waters, or sometimes choosing other seaweed instead of seaweed, can be a good idea. Our small choices can come together to create a big change. Well, that's all for today's video. Was this information essential for your health? If you want to receive more useful information like this, please subscribe, like, and set up notif.